And the other thing I would say is that the online is it's not just what is in the bottle, it is what is on the bottle. Is there some type of third party verification? Yeah, all the years spent in baseball, players bringing in plastic bags with God only knows what in it. It's like, you know what? Toss. We're
Yeah.
gonna take a chance with that because who knows what is there? And contamination is a big thing. And when I'm educating, I want people to be safe. I don't want them to. These are the things that we don't take chances with because if we don't know what's in there, that is really like rolling the dice, and it could be very, very dangerous.
Mhm. I think you listed all the supplements that piss me off too, and as you were saying detox there, I also was thinking there's a lot of gut health supplements that say they're gonna cure colitis or IBS, or I've even heard some influencers make claims that their supplement will cure depression. Like just these like blanket statements that it's like I don't know if it's your one supplement. I mean, we have no clue what else the person changed in their life. Like it's just anything like that is a red flag to me.
It is, and the word cure is a very strong word without the research backing it up. We don't have cures for
Yeah.
many, many diseases and disorders right now, and that includes many types of gastrointestinal disorders, unless somebody has ulcerative colitis and they have that part of their colon removed. That's not taking a pill. That's surgery is how we help with that. We can't cure Crohn's disease. We can't cure irritable bowel. We might be able to control it, but again, there, the supplement is one part of the lifestyle changes, the eating, the fitness, the all of those things together. It's not one, it is the sum that makes the
Mhm.
difference.
Yeah, and like you said, it's like the icing on top of the cherry on top of the cherry.
Right. I mean, that's that tiny little, not even the tip of the iceberg. We're talking about even something smaller than that. It's all that iceberg that needs to be there. We just can't immediately go to the top. And it's not easy. No, it isn't because there's things to think about which are critically important. But if the major focus, and anytime I think for anybody listening to this, if the major focus is the big list of what not to do, unfollow, delete, and walk away as quickly as you can because that is not what we want to be doing. I think it's also really important for people to look at what those recommendations are. Do you even like those foods? Seeing influencers that are eating sticks of butter a day. Oh, God, or just doing raw meat all the time. It's like, or
Liver
maybe even
King
raw
and all
milk.
those people.
Dangerous. Yeah, dangerous. And that this whole safety issue is a really big deal right now. We don't want to be introducing pathogenic bacteria into our body. It is not a good idea. And that is the concern with some of these recommendations, let alone bodies do not exist solely on protein. They can't. They
Yeah.
don't want to exist solely on fat, and nor should it just be carbohydrate. We
Mhm.
really need that variety pack on the
Yeah.
plate is what needs to be there as part of every meal.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, I've seen the sticks of butter and those accounts just really gross me out because it's just a bunch of fat on a plate and I'm just like this is disgusting. Like I want to vomit. Like yes, I love healthy fats, but not as my whole meal.
Right. It's something about, okay, a little butter on a piece of toast, but a
Yeah.
stick of butter with a knife and fork, I know that visual image seared into my brain of
Or not even. Sometimes they don't even use a fork. They just bite off the stick of butter.
like a
Like
popsicle. It's like, what are we doing here?
yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, I agree. No, look, I love my butter. I'll put it on my salmon or my meat, whatever, my vegetables, but it's just yeah, there's some craziness out there. And I think with the food thing, it is hard for people because one day like eggs are good for you, the other day they're toxic. One day blueberries are great, the next day they're too high sugar, watch out. So it's like how do we know like what is the truth? It's just like the goalposts are just always changing. So should people just focus on how they feel, their performance, their own health, and just not pay attention to the noise because it's just crazy. It gets crazier every day.
One of the terms that's used so often right now is food noise, and it's primarily around people on the weight loss medications because it shuts down that noise so people feel like they can be more in control and thinking about food in a positive way instead of being overwhelmed by the thoughts of food. I would change that to mood noise right now there because there's a lot of it and it's most of it is negative. Don't. So, one of the first things I always talk to my young athletes about and all my patients about is what do you like to eat? That's number one. And be part of making that list of what is it that, and also what you do not like to eat. So we got both of those things together. What foods make you feel good? And that isn't just, oh, I have energy to be on the soccer field. Yeah, I feel good over the course of the day. It's good for my mood. I can think more clearly. I can get done what I need to do over the course of the day. That is, and how does it keep you satisfied? Right? So if
Mhm.
I eat in a way where I'm ready to eat my arm after 5 minutes, it's probably an indication that maybe I'm not necessarily having enough things. When we look at why recommendations keep changing, a lot of that is the science. This is the reason that things change. So yes, when I started in this field a million years ago, one of the recommendations was be careful with the amount of dietary cholesterol that you consume. That's what the science showed us at the time. However, more recent studies, more robust studies, larger studies have indicated that dietary cholesterol has a minimal impact on blood cholesterol levels. And
Mm.
so those recommendations have changed. And yes, it is okay to eat eggs as a great protein food. When we hear the attacking on fruit and vegetable, a lot of this comes from the environmental working group that is not science based. That is a more marketing ploy, is what that is, designed to instill fear in people that you should not eat certain fruits and vegetables. We don't eat enough as it is. Only 1 in 10 of us does. So we certainly don't need more recommendations about what to stay away from. And even if we look at potential risk of eating, and strawberries on the list this year, that you would have to eat the equivalent of several pints of strawberries each and every day. And even then, we don't know that it would be a problem. And most of us aren't going to do that because we'd be spending all day in the toilet. So we're like, okay, that's not a realistic thing to do. And so I think when we look at those things, it's also, is that really just touting fear or is that based upon the truth? Because oftentimes it isn't based upon the research. Or carbohydrates are bad. We'll look at every country in the world, right? They eat carbohydrate. They do. They eat rice, they eat pasta, they eat bread, they eat tortilla, all those types of things. There really isn't any other country in the world that is minimizing their carbohydrates to the extent that people want to do here. And they're healthier. So I have both sides of that equation, not just what they're doing, but how are they thriving? And they are. So that's another thing that we need to be looking at. And I also think there's a tremendous amount of value in consulting with somebody who actually has expertise. There are a lot of people that claim to be nutrition experts, they don't have the expertise, and that is not the same thing. So, working with a registered dietitian, all right, there's somebody who actually has looked at the science, who can translate that into something useful, customizable to that individual, so they're living in a land of yes instead of the land of no. And when I hear this about fruit, it makes me very sad at this time of the year, at least here in Western Pennsylvania. We finally have lots of fruit available that we don't have in January. And why should we feel bad about eating those? I will say that sometimes if people eat a lot of watermelon because it's hot outside and that feels delicious, then yeah, you spend a little time in the bathroom because when you eat fruit, it has fructose. That's the carbohydrate that is in fruit, and it can have a little bit of a laxation effect, making you need to go until your body adjusts to that quantity. But my God, what a wonderful, hydrating, delicious, cold food to have after 2 hours practice, right? I mean, that works really well. We did that with the Chiefs all the time. It's little push up watermelon pops, those kinds of things. They love them. So, I would never, and I, because I've seen countless thousands of people over the 40 plus years of being a dietitian. I can't name one who gained weight because they ate too much fruit. At zero out of the thousands. That's only my observation, and I'm not the only one that would say that. So enough with this attacking and demonizing and vilifying of food. It just gets really, really old.